Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Ontario Vintage Tractor. It's your first time tuning in. Thanks for checking out the channel. If you could hit the subscribe button down at the bottom, give the video a like if you like what you're seeing. It'd be greatly appreciated. Help the channel grow. Today the 54 CA is behind me again. We had a bit of a scare with it last week. We had a storm and we were blowing some snow. The hardest we've ever worked it, and all of a sudden just started huffing smoke and gradually died on me and wouldn't refire, and eventually ended up hydrolocking itself. I thought it blew up. We dragged it back to the shop, and upon further investigation I found that my float, from sitting out in the cold, the float in the carburetor had sunk. I guess got cold, maybe a little bit of bad fuel, I'm not sure. And it sunk and it overfueled itself so bad that it hydrolocked. So not a big deal, but that sparks this video tonight. We're going to change the oil, get everything out of the crankcase, and that way we can continue using it, because winter sure is not over. So stay tuned. Okay, so first things first, we're going to pull the oil cap off here, and we'll get the oil drained out of it. Alright, we got our drain bucket here, and we're going to go ahead and drop the oil. It's a little bit gassy there, but not terrible, so I don't think it's hurt. Makes me feel good. Alright, next we're going to go ahead and replace the oil filter. Let it drain out because it is upside down. It's got a rod that goes all the way down inside. When you're changing your oil, always make sure your gasket comes off with the filter. If you end up double gasking it, it's going to make an awful mess on you. Brand new Wix filter. Small little tip. These are generally expensive filters. I've been getting them from Rock Auto. If you can't find it under listing of the machine, but if you look up the part number, and that's the majority of the old Allis filters that they take, but they are a Wix distributor, and if you know the part number or the original part number, usually you can punch into Rock Auto and find what you're looking for. I do that with all my ignition components as well. Most of this stuff is all Delco. If you can find the Delco number, it will work for you, and you will save a bunch of money. Get our new gasket put on. And, I mean, there's no affiliation between me and Rock Auto whatsoever, but if I can help my fellow tractor enthusiasts save some money, I mean, we're all in it together, so. Put a little bit of oil around the gasket. And there's a center hole there where it has to go in now. There's something inside this filter, a little piece of cardboard or something, so get that out. Make sure you line it up. Should slide down with very, very little resistance. And we'll go ahead underneath here, reinstall our drain plug. Tighten it up. Clean up any other residue you got. And we'll go ahead and refill it. And we'll go ahead and check the level. And take a bit for that new oil to get down into the crankcase. And it wants more. Should take the majority of that 5-liter jug. Okay, the oil level is satisfactory enough to fire it up, and we'll start it up, check oil pressure. I don't know, I can't reiterate this enough. If you're going to start your tractor when you're not on it, always give the shifter a wiggle. Make sure you're in neutral. Over on the other side because I got to turn the fuel on. Go ahead and shut the fuel off again, and we will double check our level and see if any top up's needed. And again, it may take a bit for the oil to settle down into the bottom. Okay. We are right to the full mark, nice and clean, and that'll do the oil change portion of this video. Take the funnel out here, put our cap back on, and we'll go ahead and grease the 2 grease fittings on the front end. Normally when I do my services I would check the wheel bearings too, but I just recently repacked and serviced those like not even 2 hours of runtime ago, so I know they're still good. So we'll move on to the front end. Alright, so this front end doesn't have a lot of grease fittings. There's one right here on this pedestal and one on the back side of the other pedestal, because I'm assuming back in the day when they built it they used the same one and just whatever side it went on. They're universal side to side. It's the steering arm itself that makes it for right or left. So we'll go put a few pumps in those. And you don't have to like over grease. A couple of pumps is good. Don't want to make a mess or blow it out the seals. That. And on our Allis B that we have, we'll get this camera moved here. As I was saying, on the Alice B, we have the steering box itself is greased, not oil. On the CA, it is in fact oil filled. So we checked that. That's full. I just recently did a hydraulic service on this as well, so we know the hydraulic fluid's good. When I thought it blew up out, I checked the coolant. It's good too. Also good to minus 40 degrees Celsius. So that's it for our service. As always, I'd like to thank you for tuning in. If you like what you're seeing, please like and subscribe down at the bottom as always. Tomorrow we're going to go out, we're going to load hay with our WD, so we're going to go out in the morning. It's got really thick hydraulic fluid in it, so we're going to go out, change the hydraulic fluid in the morning, get it running, make sure all that's good before we start to load, and we'll have footage of that. So I hope it's informative, and thanks for watching. Have a great night.